So here is your tropical weather bulletin for July the 1st, 2022 in the Atlantic Basin. Let's get into it. So currently we have Tropical Storm Bonnie, a 45-mile-an-hour tropical storm that is 39 knots, a pressure of 1,004 millibars, and is moving west at 17 miles per hour as of this latest update brought to you by Curtis Simplified. So take a look at the NHC forecast going for Bonnie, and you can see that the system is going to pass between the Costa Rica-Nicaraguan border before potentially becoming a hurricane in the Eastern Pacific, which would be interesting, of course, and potentially dangerous and life-threatening impacts happening right now in Nicaragua and Costa Rica. Take a look at the model intensity guidances, and these most likely are for the Eastern Pacific. Most going for Cat 1, not a lot going for a tropical storm. So the storm looks like it's going to have a big future ahead of it if it makes it past the Nicaraguan mountains and towards the Eastern Pacific, where those nice conditions are with those warm SSTs and very low vertical wind shear. Take a look at the visible imagery and you can see just how well the storm's developed just before it is making landfall on Nicaragua. The storm has developed very nicely and is expected to keep that trend all the way until landfall, and then it will look like a sloppy blob most likely coming out the other side of Nicaragua. Take a look at the true color zoomed out imagery and you can see the storm's not doing too bad. It's quite a small storm. Some of the rain bands look like they may be touching Honduras actually, so maybe not too small. But yeah, it will enter the Eastern Pacific and we could be seeing a very strong storm develop in the Eastern Pacific. Take a look at the IR imagery and you can see getting into actually minus 85s, which is interesting. That will be bringing flash flooding in definitely, and of course those heavy rain bands approaching Nicaragua and Costa Rica, and it will be making landfall within the next 4 to 5 hours on Nicaragua. Okay, so now we're taking a look at 96L, which has been designated in the North Atlantic Ocean near Florida, Georgia, of course, and of course South Carolina. Currently with winds by my estimates of 40 miles per hour. This is my estimates. Don't take this by any official means. This is my estimates. 40 miles per hour, that is 35 knots, a pressure of 1,015 millibars, and question mark for the movement, as the movement was very hard to pin where the storm is going at the minute and how fast it is actually moving. It is almost impossible to predict where the storm is moving for me at the minute. However, it looks like the general track will be northeast. Take a look at the NHC disturbance. Right now they have it at 10% of formation, which I think is a bit lowballing it. I think it should be around 30% of formation, as it does look like a bit like Tropical Storm Bill from last year, as that was a disturbance. But it will be bringing heavy rainfall to Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina. It actually looks like the center of the storm is on the South Carolina and Georgia border. So potentially some heavy rainfall there, and potentially some gusty winds as well between the border. Take a look at the model intensity guidance for 96L, and this is actually kind of interesting because all of the model intensity guidances actually have this going up to tropical storm status, which is very interesting actually. And yeah, we could be seeing a tropical storm get named, but it looks like it will only be tropical storm, not for too long before weakening happens. But it will probably be a tropical storm invest system in the Atlantic, so it will probably still be a threat to land with rainfall threats and gusty winds. Take a look at the visible imagery and you can see what I mean about the center being near Georgia and South Carolina. I'm pretty sure that little dim spot there is the center between the border, nearly on land actually. But you can see it's been blowing up very nice convection over Florida. Very heavy thunderstorms have been falling over Florida, with potentially maybe even tornadoes, which I'm not too sure about, but maybe tornadoes. But yeah, this is a pretty powerful low pressure area, bringing very heavy rain to a lot of the states on the eastern side of the United States. Take a look at the true color zoomed out imagery and you can just see that wide scale. Florida, loads of thunderstorms there, and loads of thunderstorms on Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina. So yeah, there are a lot of thunderstorms impacting the eastern coast of the United States right now, and they could lead to potential flash flooding and potential heavy downpours of rain within a limited amount of time, and gusty winds as well within a limited amount of time, which could be extremely powerful. And here is the infrared imagery, and you can see how the storm's actually been developing over Florida there. Those very heavy showers over Florida, with those ones in the Atlantic Ocean and the ones over Georgia, South Carolina and North Carolina, which have been pretty much impacting there for most of the day as well. But anyway, thank you for watching this tropical weather bulletin, and this is my first ever tropical weather bulletin in the Atlantic Ocean, and I'm hoping to do one of these every weekend in the Atlantic Basin. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next update. Peace out.